Hey everyone, how are you doing tonight? Hey Misha.
Hey, Crystal. Hey, chat. Thank y'all for joining us tonight. Thank y'all for bearing with us. We switched it up. We're doing our live tonight instead of Sunday night. Thank y'all for coming in. Make sure you say hello in the chat and we'll say hello back.
Yes, let's get it going. Yo, Misha, I love the hair. You're looking
Girl,
fly.
girl. This
Yes.
is just a little headband wig. Popped it from under the sink, threw it on my head. It's been 90 degrees out here. I was gonna try and put some edge control and do a little side part like Crystal, but I was like, no, I don't have the time.
You know what, Misha? I think I might be having some technical difficulties. So can you
Uh-oh.
put the share together? I don't know what's going on. So I'm gonna have Misha do the controls this evening.
You don't have the Canva up?
I do have the Canva up, but it's the share is not letting me share real quick.
Okay, let me pull mine up.
Yeah, because it's giving me some.
Hi Z, hi Monique. Thank y'all for joining us.
Sorry, y'all. It's giving me some error message, Misha. I don't know if you can see. Oh wait, nope. It's giving me some error message.
No problem. I'm gonna pull it up right quick.
Okay.
What is my
Hey Z, hey, okay, yeah, you share and I'll do this. Hey, Miss
password?
Yo, you see Misha in this hair? Did y'all see the Donna Summer that Miss Tina pulled out at the last minute? She needed to pull that out 3 weeks ago.
That we gonna get into that. I'll save that for later. I'll be good for right now.
For right now. Y'all, I do. Misha was teasing me before we walked in here, but I do think I might be like exposing myself.
Y'all, I'm feeling good. I got my little drink. Okay. I don't know if y'all are into Crown Royal, but I discovered these. Okay. They have this apple flavor is bomb.
Yeah.
The peach flavor is good. I want to try the apple one next. No, the lemon one. There's a lemon one that I want to try. And then there's a cola one where it's mixed with Coca-Cola, but it is everything on this hot Saturday.
And now, Misha, I'm a little annoyed because you need to let me know ahead of time, and I would have joined you.
Don't be annoyed. Don't be annoyed.
In the libations. So I actually think because I'm trying, y'all know I'm still trying to diet, but I keep going back and forth. But I literally walked past the wine rack and said, "No, Crystal, don't do it. No, Crystal, don't do it." So yeah, let's get into it. There's Mr. Tori.
Tori went home. Not surprised. I was like, finally. My goodness. Like, we could have skipped the whole America's Next Top Model elimination, Flavor of Love elimination, and just
Okay. I
Like,
loved the smile on his face. He knew it. He knew it was him, and he was very
right.
honest. And he said that I get tunnel vision when I like somebody,
That tunnel vision.
um
Yes.
and because of that, I think that that was why I was eliminated. So I appreciated that he was like, "Listen, I knew it was gonna be me." He even gave her a big bachelorette hug. He picked her up like Sabrina I'm talking about, and he was like, it was kind of a no hard feelings. I'm salty, but I'm not. But okay, listen. I appreciated the fact that he smiled on his way out, and was really he was really nice when he left because he knew it was going to be him. We knew it was I knew it was going to be him and not Paul right now. Honestly, I still don't know why Paul is still there, but we knew it was going to be Tori. I like myself some Tori. That's what a woman wants. She wants a woman. She wants a man that be tunnel vision and put in that effort. We'll get into the Sabrina and Demetrius of it all in a second, but I'm not surprised he went home, but I'm actually glad he went home because he needed to get back to liking himself. He's a good
He was
person.
just floating around. He was trying to do like
So
Dakia and Paul
small.
and just find someone to latch on to make it to the end. It was like, no, just go on and go. Just
So
go.
small, floating. So hey, he left. I'm glad he went. But and he went. He had a huge smile on his face. So I like the fact that he went. On a good note.
Found my notes. But yes, let's see what else happened. One moment. Now my mouse is acting up. Hold on.
Uh-oh. Y'all, we changed one day and we got to get it together for you. We got to get
Oh
it
Lord,
together
here
for
we
you.
go.
I feel like I'm okay. All right. This, listen. Mm. She was trying to speak on it but couldn't speak on it. She was like, I think we both, when we like somebody, we don't put the effort in, and I don't and what did Demetri say? But I'm not elusive though, but I'm not that person though. And she's like, girl, say it. I need that effort. But you had a man that was putting the effort and you didn't want him. You
Uh
didn't like
oh.
him.
Uh oh.
You had a man that got tunnel vision for you, and you didn't want that. So now you got Demetrius, who was the one you wanted, and because and you know what annoyed me so much about Demetrius, and I think we're going to talk about it a little later too, is that he even said because she had all of these other interests, I didn't stick my neck out and I didn't put that effort in. Now, and you did you see that little Cheshire cat smile when Tori went home? That's little smirk on
I
his
saw that. I saw that.
so now
That
he's
little
like,
smirk
bitch, it's all
grin,
mine.
like, got her. I'm getting
Yeah.
closer. I'm like,
You should, but see, this is the thing. The effort that Tori was putting in a long time ago should have been that effort that you were putting in instead of staring out the window of that back in the back of that van. I mean, the fact that you didn't, that should have said everything to Sabrina. Go ahead, go. I know I'm just
hey,
talking more. So,
Ravine, thank you for joining us
hey, y'all.
today.
Sorry.
You're fine.
Yeah, I will.
But
Y'all know when I
yeah,
get on my tangent. Y'all know when I get. Okay, go ahead.
but he said what was getting me, he was just giving me like complete F boy vibes. Like,
Absolutely.
well, I'm not gonna put my all. You see the cameras, you see the setup, you see how this is. I'm not gonna give 100 right now. You just gotta wait and see what I'm gonna give you. And what is your 100 then? Like,
Right.
what is your version of 100? And she was
And
like, no,
that
I need to
wait and
see
see
something
is what's gonna
right
get
now.
him. Sorry, go ahead. Sorry.
What? Go ahead.
That wait and see is what's got him to this point, not getting what he wants for forever. That wait and see type of attitude that he has, that's
Mm-mm.
why he's been sitting around. Oh well, I'm only gonna put the effort into somebody that only wants me. Yes, his smirk because his plans to play hard to get worked. That's stupid. That's stupid. He should have the person that Tori was as far as like putting in that effort. That's what he should have been doing in the first place, and he didn't want to do that. But it also proves what we've been saying about Sabrina. Now that we're here, like, and she's like, they're trying to play this handsy game, like, we gotta, like, you and I are kind of a lot alike, and I need you to putting in that effort. And he's like, but I do put in the effort. But I do. But girl.
No, he reminds me of one of those men. Like you got to tell him to take out the
Yes.
trash. You got to tell him to help you bring in the groceries. Out, not you can have them. I'm good.
Thank you, Mimi. Yes, you can have that. You can, but that's how it's gonna be if he wants the type of person that he wants in his life. He wants somebody that, well, you gotta tell me, you gotta lead a horse to water and teach him how to drink. I'm not trying to do that. Mm-mm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
She leave him alone, girl. Like,
Leave him
and the
alone.
fact that she just standing there going back with him, and then when she said later on in the episode that she's afraid they're eventually gonna clash, I'm like, yeah,
Yeah, that's exactly what you're gonna do. Because nobody's going to be putting in the effort because they're both gonna be sitting there at a standstill, and he's not going to be putting in the effort that you want, and he's gonna, mm-hmm, like a dainty man or like a danity man, right there. Mm-mm. Yeah, it's exactly what's gonna happen. But go ahead. Mm.
so then we have Carmen and Donovan. Hey, Kimberly girl.
Hey, Kimberly,
Um, I've been missing your lives, Kimberly. Where you been?
I am
Okay.
too.
So we got Donovan and Carmen in the hot tub. So what stuck out to me was when he said he can tie a cherry thing with his tongue, and I said, what that mean?" Um, but what did you think about this?
Well, apparently I'm in, and I tried to watch it back. Apparently I missed that part, but I also was like
It
side
was
eyeing
towards
this.
the end. You got to pay attention because he was mumbling a little bit,
Oh, he
but
was mumbling a lot. He was
it
mumbling
was
a lot.
like towards the end of the scene. But that's what he
Honestly,
said.
honestly, I side eye Carmen a little bit because she was the first day she was rubbing on Paul's bald head, and when she noticed that Paul was not giving what she wanted him to give, then she moved on to Donovan, right? So I was okay, but at the same time, they did look cozy in this jacuzzi, and they look like, at least whatever we think, it was at least sexual energy. So that means he's a, yeah, that's exactly what that means.
But he
So,
climbed in that bunk bed too.
and
I was
he
like,
climbed
"What
in
in the
that,
bunk bed,
yes,
child?
that
Don't
is
turn
a
off the
tiny,
camera
I said,
yet."
that's a tiny bed, and he's a big guy, and Carmen ain't no skinny, ain't no like Sabrina. Carmen ain't no shorty. So I was like, oh, this is gonna be interesting. That's gonna be some gymnastics right there. So this whole scene, I don't know. I almost felt like it was. I don't want to say the word sloppy seconds because I don't think that's what it was. But I do think day one she was rubbing on Paul's bald head. Uh, the same type of feeling that, what's the name, Paul was getting for Carmen, I think Dante was getting for Sabrina. Like, he was just, like you said, he was watching from the sidelines, seeing how Carmen was, or sorry, seeing how Sabrina was acting with Dimitri, and he said, "Let me move on from this." So he moved on. That's it. That's what I think. Mm-mm.
Hey, Ellen. What also stood out to me was she said, what did she say? I wrote it down. She was talking about Sabrina because we know she always mentions
Oh,
whatever
that's right.
female that the other dude is connecting with. So she said, "Yeah, with Sabrina, she's a good girl, but I'm a
Yes.
better
But I'm a
woman."
better woman. Thank you so much for reminding me. She did
And
say
I
that. And I said, why do you always have to do that? Why do you always have to, like, throw little jabs at the other woman when you're sitting there with, especially you sitting in that bathing suit. He's got his shirt off. Y'all, you can see, you don't have to do that. She didn't have to throw a jab. She's a good girl, but I'm a better woman. Right? You just don't have to do that. I just thought that was, I was like, come on now. That's all.
I
I was
agree. Hey,
really
Alex, I agree. And I start to wonder, is it her career? Because she's around athletes. It seems like she's around a lot of men who might be competitive. So does like she not know how to turn that off when it's like when she's in a dating setting? So
I
we'll
know
get into it later because
we are
is it
because
her
she does
being
this again.
messy or is she just having a conversation? Is she just talking? What like because now it's a pattern where she's
Yes,
always mentioning the other woman in every scene.
Miss Pearl. Oh God. Hey, Auntie, how are you doing, Auntie? Auntie. Wait, I gotta
Hey
give a shout out to Auntie.
Auntie.
Auntie, I tell them I watch 90 Day Fiance, but I don't know if I have the temperament to cover it. And I said, oh no, I gotta catch Auntie's reviews. And
Yes.
last what was it, last week or 2 weeks ago, you had me dying laughing when this you said this mofo ran through the street. I just like Auntie, just you just had me dying laughing, and I just got to just say thank you so much
Auntie
because
is a trooper. You're a trooper too, because she's doing Married at First Sight too, and I always make sure I catch her Married at First Sight lives.
yes,
But it's
I
a lot of mess on our
it's a
TV
lot of
screen.
mess. It's a lot of mess, Auntie. It's a lot, and I'll do Married at First Sight, but I will do it with on somebody else's channel. Me and Misha, we decided we can't do it. We can't. Misha and I together. Ooh, but Auntie and this 90 Day Fiance, you just have me dying laughing, and I just gotta. I just had to just give you 30 seconds on that because that was so funny. You just I love it. Yeah, I just don't like, and we're gonna cover it a little bit later how she was talking to Dakia about you may be right. She's better at strategy because she does do this a lot. So I just think this is just how see, I don't feel so bad now. She just does this. She just talks about other people. So go ahead. Yes, this conversation.
So then finally, after
Mhm.
3 days, Clifton and Dakia finally sit down and talk. And this is after days of him basically ignoring her and being all with Joy. And he hit her with the what had happened was, see, I know we talked, but when I came in and Joy was here, I don't know, things just happened. I'm like, it made sense because I remember the last review I said it seems like he's not sure about Joy. So I think he is sure about Joy. I think he's just really like how they what do they call him, a big teddy bear? I think he
Mhm.
was just really afraid of hurting Dakia's feelings. But at the same time, you got to have that conversation. You can't run from it. So
This
Dakia
is
crying
exactly
though.
yeah,
Dakia
she
crying. Sorry. Now that she went outside and she
let
out
her
in the
go.
dark and
I
I
better
said,
go.
girl,
Let her
girl,
go.
stop.
But I do
Girl.
say, and this is what I said last week, right? I said I think that what's his name? Clifton just did not want to have the conversation with her. He knew. I feel like Clifton knew a long time ago. Clifton knew for weeks, but we like the fact that he didn't pull a Camille and Cornelius and just put all his eggs in this basket and not entertain anybody else. He entertained more people. We liked him. We liked their dynamic. But I think he knew for a long time, and I think that he was playing the game the way he's supposed to. I also think that he just did not want to hurt her feelings. I think that he didn't know how to say it. And even Joy was like, I think you need to talk to Dakia. And listen, just pull the band-aid off and just have the conversation. So yeah, and she was like, I just wished, I just didn't have to see it. If you wanted to be with somebody else, you just should have spoken to me about it. And I do agree. He should have spoken to her. They
Yeah.
had a conversation like the first day when they were sitting outside and he never said anything. So this was sweet, but I was like, stop with the crying. Just let it go. Just let it go. Let them go off into the sunset. Just let it go. Mm-hmm.
I agree.
Mm-hmm.
Dakia, what do you think she was just being dramatic? Like what do you think about her being so emotional about the connection ending? It's been less than 2 months.
Right.
And
I
what I'll say, let me say this. They weren't committed. They even, I guess you can say, dating, but I was just like, where are the tears coming from? But go ahead.
I hear what you're saying about the crying was too much and it was over dramatic. I agree with you at the same time. I think that she, like the laying on the chest, she really feels like he's a good guy and there's nobody else here like him, like this. And she's like, man, my connection's not here. So I think her connection's not there. So she was just like, whew, I feel like that was a deep breath. He's a mofo that you would break your ankle on a DC curb trying to get away from
A
him.
whole stomach.
He has a whole stomach.
Auntie. A whole.
Yes, he has a whole stomach. Yes. But I think that like this was over dramatic, but at the same time, she's like, there's nobody else. What am I doing here? That was, and I also think there was a little too much.
That's
Girl.
this is her little hurdler. This is what I think it is. It's like she's been everybody's number two.
Right.
And is she having that breaking point like, damn, what a nigga gonna pick me?
That's
Like, I
exactly
don't know
that's
if
exactly
it's
what I think.
that
I think
or
that she's like, there's nobody here for me. What am I doing here? That's exactly
because
why
I
she
don't feel like it's the connection with Clifton, but it was just like
it
I
was
didn't
not
understand the tears, but maybe that's it.
it
But
was
hey,
not it was that not the connection or a lack of connection with Clifton that made her cry. It was the fact that there's nobody else here for her. And then the laying on Clifton's chest, I was like, y'all just laying. If you just broke up with the girl, stop laying on his chest like that.
but
Just
I
move
did
on.
not I did not like it is what it is. You had the conversation. First of all, she led the conversation. She's
Yeah,
the one that had to kind of
I agree with
like
that.
guide the conversation to what it needs to be
I agree
because
with that.
he never technically ended the connection. She had to end it. And
Mhm.
then for him to say, well, where are you going?
Where
What
are
you
you going?
doing? Blah blah boy, don't. And he
Where are you
claims
going?
that women and exes and they leave doors open and feelings linger, but you're sitting here with the where are you going? What's the like? Don't do that because
That's
now
BS.
you're letting stuff linger. Just let her
That's
go on.
BS.
Y'all had to talk. Let her go on. Do what she needs to do. Don't. It's like you trying to keep her on that little string, and that's why I said in so many of these reviews, he just wanted to test ride Dakia.
Right.
He
Don't
just
do
wanted
that.
to see what he ride like, and then give it back to the dealership. That's all it
And this
was.
creative said she was dramatic with Sweet Erica too. Have mercy. So I just think that Clifton, he knew from a long time ago that he was more interested in Joy, that and he was just playing the game and he was making sure not to do Joy and or not Joy, Camille and Cornelius, where they just put all their eggs in one basket and not play the game. And the Kia, she was those tears were because there was nobody else that she was interested in or interested in her as much. And she's like, what am I doing here? Where's my person at? And that's it. That's it. Mm-hmm. What did Jeremy say? Right.
Jeremy
Let her
said,
cry
"Let
on
her
the
cry
patio
on the
to Luther
patio to
Vandross in
Luther
private.
Vandross in
Don't worry
private."
about where she going, Cliff. You
Right.
go. Where are you going? She's like, well, let me go. Let me go.
just see how it rides. See how it ride. Do it ride
Here we
smooth.
go.
Can it
Here
handle
we
the
go.
curve?
That's
Child, let
what
me
you
stop.
want. Mm-hmm.
Let's see. So let's get into
Oh
what is
Lord.
this girl's name? Tina. Let's get into the Tina of it all. Tina popped up. First of all, she looked like she was running to the stove. She looked like she was like, let me go to Vaughn's and grab some milk and eggs. You know what? Let me stop by so and so house real quick and say hi. That's what it was giving. Like she had no real intention of being there. That's what it seemed like. And she came with the grocery store wig, because I got a grocery store wig too, so I know what it looked like. She came with the grocery store jacket, the whole leggings, and get like she was on her way to the store. She did not care about these men, these connections. And what really irritated me was like the lack of assertiveness. All you have to say is your connection is not there. And you led with the fact that you have a 2-year-old. We knew. We get it. It's overwhelming. Me as a single mother in her same position, I get it. So just say it. Because there's a lot more people that would understand her than she realizes. So she, like, just say you don't want to do the show anymore. I don't get what the big deal was in just saying that and the sitting there and, well, I don't know, and I think so. And I'm like, girl, just tell these people you done. Just self eliminate. Like,
Okay.
oh,
This was the stupidest, unnecessary moot point. I was like, what was that scene even for? She came there like you said, she was a woman to, oh, let me go down the street to my cousin's house. And then she walks in, oh, I feel like I missed everything. I feel like I'm late. I feel like, and everybody's looking at her like, where they do that at? Like, what are you doing here? And so, and I honestly, if people wasn't calling her nonstop and you just didn't call back, and all of these things we're seeing that, oh, well, she was upstairs, girl, you were upstairs the whole time. Like, what? And then she's acting like so aloof, and like she wanted Donovan to say something like, well, I really want to talk to, I
not you.
feel like I
Did
have
you steal
unfinished
Tori's
business.
word, aloof? No, you did
Yeah,
not steal that
listen,
word.
listen. Like, look, listen. Um, then she act like, well, the only reason I came is because I feel like I need to talk to Donovan. And I just feel like I have unfinished business with Donovan. Why didn't you call Donovan or pick up the phone the millions of times that he called you, sis? Besides that, when you are sitting on the little bitty bunk bed, then, well, you want him to say something. So what are you doing here? Well, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I felt like there's nobody else here for me. And well, then what did you come for? If you wanted it, the answer is you wanted Donovan to say that he still likes you. That was it. And so, and honestly, Carmen was the funniest because Carmen don't care about you. Carmen don't care, but I was like, oh, Carmen, you just being messy. You just trying to get the answers that you want to get to find. You just trying to be, you trying to find out. But to me, this was so silly. This was stupid. Like, why even show up? Why even show up? And
To, to clarify, Tina did an interview on Kamish Reviews stating that she was upstairs the whole time, or of this whole retreat or getaway. But by everyone's reaction, she could not have been upstairs the whole time. Maybe they reshot her walking in the house a couple times. I don't know. But I agree, Carmen didn't care. But it was like she really couldn't tell the truth to nobody. Just say you don't want to be there and go on about your day.
and then after you come in so late, then you're gonna act aloof. You're gonna act like, oh well, I just really wanted to talk to you. Well, what did you want to
So
talk
you
about?
think you think she was trying to get Donovan to beg her to stay?
I think she was trying to get Donovan. The only person that she wanted to speak to was Donovan, and I just thought that was stupid.
Paul was
If
done
that's
with
the
her.
truth.
He
Oh
didn't
yeah,
even
Paul
look
was
in
done
her
with it. If that's
direction.
the case, then why
He
didn't you
seemed
pick up the phone
annoyed.
when Donovan called you or text you so many times? And I said, why would you come here just to speak to Donovan? And then when you are sitting next to a man after you've ghosted him, basically, then you don't answer him and you don't speak up. I just thought that was stupid. And literally 10 minutes before everybody's about to leave, too. There's no way that she was upstairs the whole time and nobody knew, and the other cast members didn't know it. That doesn't make any sense. So that's silly as well. So
Monique says she got there the morning of, like
mm-hmm.
while they were leaving, production made her wait hours, but she still got there late. She
Right.
still got there on the last day. Production might have made her wait hours, but still, she
Yeah.
missed everything. She still missed
Even
everything.
if she got there at 8 a.m. and they're leaving at 11, 11 is regular time for them to leave. It doesn't make any sense.
She didn't have no bag. She came there with the intention to say bye. And then she got there, and I don't know, I don't want to say the word chicken, but bok bok. If you but it's just like, say
But
what you
Kimberly,
gotta
even if her
say and
bags were
move
in her
on.
trunk, even if her bags were in her trunk, she knew it was a 2 day retreat. She got the email from production just like everybody else, and she didn't make it. I just think she wanted to speak to Donovan. Then why didn't you pick up the phone the umpteenth times that Donovan called or text you and say, hey, listen, I just don't, I'm just not interested in going forward with production. So why did you show up? Or the only thing that could be that production made her or not made her come, but really pushed her to come. Now that could have
Mhm.
been the case, but then why would you wait until 11 o'clock to show up? Or why? Or if, even if production got her to come at 8 just to show her face, it doesn't make any sense.
Right.
Hmm. Yeah.
It is what it is, but
It is bad.
let's get into Paul and Dakia. Dakia on her dates, she had a gimmickiness to her. And now I'm like, I see it with Paul too. And maybe they're just too similar for to each other. But I was like, he might as well just read a Maya Angelou poem to her at this point. Because every time they sit down, you are a strong black woman. You are every woman. Yes, you are. It's all in you. Anything you want done, baby, you do it naturally. And I'm like, what? It's just so like,
Yeah.
so Carmen, we'll get to Carmen, but Carmen spilled a lot of tea at the brunch. And this is why I believe it. I believe what Carmen is saying because it's so forced. Why do you have to sit down and, so who do I have the pleasure of thanking for all of your natural beauty? I said, nigga, what? 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 And she sat there, oh, well, I have my mother's eyes. And I said, you
No,
falling for this? You are
she
falling for this? And at this point, Dakia got to wake up. We let you have your little tears over Clifton, even though it was clear as day he wanted joy. Now you got to pick up the signs. You got to stop missing the red flags, like, because at this point, like, we gave you a little bit of sympathy with Clifton, but with Paul, now it's like you gotta pick up on the what do you call it, intuition that you're getting from these men, and stop just going along and flowing with the innuendos. And no, so I was over it. I was over it.
Okay, first of all, Maya Angelou is my favorite. So we will not put the broke Langston Hughes onto Maya Angelou. So, and I actually have that same poem right behind me right there. So, but one, Paul's been doing this. My name is Pete O because I deliver. He's been doing this the whole season, and he and him saying, first, who do I owe your beauty to? And she's like, well, I look like my mother. Met people say my mother and I are sisters. He's like, oh, really? That's girl. So I think that this has been Paul's. This has been his whole. This is in his DNA this whole time, and honestly, the fact that it's almost like giving him a stage. This whole thing has been giving him a stage, and not neither of them, to me, they don't have anybody else. So they're like, okay, well, let's try to rock this out into the end. Um, I was really sick of the, oh, you are like, who said you are strong, you is important, like this whole diatribe, just to say, oh, that was Lil Hurdler, you are smart, you are kind, you is important, like from the oh gosh, the Viola Davis movie I'm forgetting right now. But come on. You know, don't let anybody put you in a box. Like it stop. Like do we even really know anything about Paul? We don't, because he does this type of stuff. He talks out of the side of his neck. Um I'm sure he's probably a great guy. We just don't know anything about him. And the key, I just feel like you're grasping at straws again. And so, hey, the help. Thank you, Lil Hurler. Um, I just don't even understand. Like he's been doing this. My name is Pete O, and I just let me just get back to being Paul. Let me just get back to being Paul. And this whole date was silly. I just like, you guys don't even really like each other. Do you guys even like each other? No, you don't. You're just doing this to get to the end. I just think it's um I just thought it was just stupid. I just like, let them get to the end. There's something else, but I now I forgot. But yeah, yeah, the help. Um, yeah, this. Why does he do this? These paragraph. Why does he do these little parables? Why? Why? Stop that with the. Can y'all? What? Go ahead.
You got it.
With his nostrils. I'm supposed to do with his nostrils. He's got, yes. It takes a lot for him to, if he has a cold, oh my God, he's gonna blow the whole town out.
I would not want to be around for that.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
Child.
I just think this whole date was silly. I don't, but we know they're trying to get to the end. They're the last two, and um yeah, now that he knows that she doesn't have anybody, and that's just it.
Not Donovan too. Donovan got some nostrils.
I don't know. Does Donovan have big nose? Does Donovan have a big nose?
Well, he got a big head, so I'm sure his nostrils follow
He does
right
have
along.
he has a very round head. He has a very round,
Yeah.
yeah. Mm-mm.
What do you think about Miss Joy and Clifton?
I thought they were sweet. I thought that table, and see, when I know that something is like working, I start looking at other stuff, and I was like, this big man. They got this big man at this little bitty wooden table. It's just hilarious.
And did
But
they have plastic forks and
I don't
spoons and
know.
knives?
I don't
It
know.
looked like they were plastic. I don't know if it was just me, but I
I thought
was
it
like, what kind
was
of restaurant is this?
yeah, I thought it was like something that somebody made from woodworking class in high school. But besides that, I thought that they're finally like starting to lean in to get to know each other. He said that he had had a conversation with Takia, and she sounded like she was listening and that she was really interested. And she said it's a conversation we had to have. Um, yeah, I thought they were sweet. I still think that he's got some trepidation behind him. I still think that he's not leaning in as much as she would want him to.
Ooh.
That Christian isn't really into Joy. He's just going with the flow. I don't know. I think he's just very, Joy is leaning in. Joy is leaning all the way in, and Clifton is not leaning in as much. He's much more cautious, and and um and that's not going to be good for Joy. So I think that's going to be very interesting because
Yeah, I think I saw his insecurities this
Mhm.
episode. Because even I forgot what he said. He said something like, unfortunately, like you fell from or something. And she was like, don't say that. Like, it's not like whatever thing was they said. And I was like, why would he say that? But I think he seems like he does have insecurities.
Mhm.
Like, will part of him feel like he's not good enough for Joy, or like
Yeah, I
He's
think
not enough to make Joy content because his history is having women cheat on him. So there's probably a part of him that thinks he's not good enough, or like she's not going to be satisfied or content with me. So is he always going to be wondering, like,
he's
is
always going to be
yeah,
concerned about that. I think that he is always on the defensive and not just trying to just lean into that relationship. Joshua said Clifton and Joy won't make it past a month. I gave them more than a month after the reunion. This is just like a fun little fling. Okay. Okay. Hmm. Yeah, she did the bachelorette jump on the man. She did what do you run and jump. I thought it was sweet. I thought the run and jump was cute. I think they're a cute couple and they're the ones that have really leaned in, but I also think that he's got a lot of insecurities that she may have to contend with. That and she's totally leaning in and she's like, "Listen, it's me and you. I'm here for you." And he's not going to be um leaning, he's not going to be giving, what's the word, reciprocating, that's the word I'm trying to say. Yeah, at what the way she needs him to. Hmm. Wait, but it's the why women have cheated on Clifton. You think the reason women have cheated on Clifton is because he hasn't been reciprocated? 6 to 8 weeks, okay.
child, I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I don't know. He seems like he's pretty attentive, but hey,
Hmm.
this was kind of like what threw me off in the trailer for the next episode. Basically, they're saying Joy's going back to Mexico.
I
I don't
That
know if
did throw
she's
me off
supposed
a
to be
little bit.
singing on a cruise ship or whatnot, but I was just like, why come on the show? Like,
Right.
why were you on the show? If I guess it could work, but I just felt like you wait till episode 10 to tell people this.
Yeah,
And
that was my same question, and I wanted to talk about it at the end. I don't know if, like you said, it could be a cruise ship. It could be something like she has, maybe she sings at resorts or something like that. So, why come on the show? And why'd you wait until, if you are putting your eggs in this Clifton basket, which is, we all think that it's only been you and he this whole time, why would you wait till week 8 to say that to him? Like, um, yeah, but that's been my question too. What?
let's get into the tea, y'all. I was not expecting this.
So I have a question before you start though, Misha. Have they done this before and I've missed it? Like, refresh my memory. Have they done like a group tea before?
Yes, they've done
Okay.
the brunch. The
Okay.
tea, no, they've done a brunch.
They've done a brunch.
Every season they do, like with Jason and Liz, they did the rooftop thing.
That's
This
right.
last season, it
Okay.
was more like they were coupled up. You remember it was Mimi, whatever her name was, Sydney and Frank all at one table, and
Okay,
yeah.
that's what this is. Okay, okay, got it. Okay, now you're right. I remember that because I was like, "What with all of this in front of everybody?" But I do hear what you're saying. Okay, yes, let's get into this. I'll be so honest with y'all. I believe Paul, but I do think that Carmen may have been putting extras on it. But did y'all see Paul's face when Carmen said something? When Carmen, the first word, Paul had his head down, then Carmen started speaking, he popped up and his eyes got big and he was like, I've been found out. That's that look when you know when you're in trouble and you went from your mama. That's the that's that look when you're like, oh, I'm about to get a whooping. Like, I believe I believe Carmen. I'm sorry. I believe Carmen. I do think that maybe she put a no because I wasn't there. Maybe she put a little bit of extras on it, but I believe her. What do y'all think? What do y'all think? Because I think that she said something, that he may have said something like that. Deacon Paul in a battle with Takia and Miss Pearly. That y'all with this Miss Pearly is cracking me up. But I believe her. I think that he put a little bit of extras on it, or she put a little bit of extras on it. But that look on his face was, I'm about to get a whooping. They never had to face each other and get down and dirty. This scene alone should have ended the season because it was messy. I do believe that she was being messy though. That's what I was like, ooh, Carmen being messy. But I was like, what is this? But and Misha's been talking about, both of them have been, when I say both of them, I mean Carmen and Dakia are kind of cut from the same cloth, but Dakia pulls it a little bit differently. And then all of her mess, she says in the ITM, whereas Carmen has just said it straight out, pull no punches right there in front of everybody. So yeah, I think that Carmen was telling the truth. I do think that she probably put a little bit of extras on it, but the look on Paul's face,
His eyes bugged.
yeah,
He
no, he
he
was like,
bugged like he was seen. Like
I'm in trouble. I'm about to get a whooping. Mama's gonna catch me. Like he,
hey J Dub.
hey J Dub. So I absolutely believe that she said something. That he said something,
Right.
and also,
Is he said what he said. He said what he said.
oh yeah,
And
but do you okay? So he said, "I like the type of woman that does
Dakia
this."
again is ignoring the red flags, ignoring her intuition. Because to sit there, okay, you don't like the messenger, but don't ignore the message. Like the message is, there's still validity in the message. So for
So
her to
and
say
also,
Carmen don't like me because of Eric, and that's why she's saying this stuff, it was very specific things. It wasn't no catty girl stuff. These were very specific things that Carmen was saying. Why would Carmen sit there and just say that for what? And it made sense. Like when he sits there and says, "You're such a beautiful, strong black woman, and
yeah,
you are everything that I need. And any man that doesn't see that is blind." And I'm like, why is he pushing that so hard? And it
right.
makes sense now. It's
Little
like he's
Herbert,
trying to force himself to be attracted to her.
Paul talks too much. Paul, we've said it too so many times. Paul likes to say, talking these little parables, or how like to, oh, you're a beautiful black woman. You're such a strong woman. Like he says this. My name is Pete O, because I deliver. He says all this stuff. I believe that it wasn't because I've never seen him get buck like that and get tight. I think this because he got found out. I said he was trying to look a certain way in front of Carmen, so he said something negative about the kid, about somebody else. He shouldn't have said it, because as somebody else just said, what did he think he was going to get away with it? Do you think Carmen wasn't going to say something?
And my thing, and then Dakia responds with the, well, it's natural versus bought. I'm like, Dakia, you got
But
them 30-pound veneers in your mouth. Please, please, please humble
not 30
yourself
pound
right now.
veneers.
Please humble yourself. You got some work done in
No,
their
but
titties
honestly
somewhere.
though, I hear what you're saying. But Carmen went in me. Like Carmen didn't have to say it like that. She did not have to. No, I'm not surprised she did because she's Carmen. But at the same time, I was like, oh, she's trying to bring whatever she thinks of her in the ITM right in front of her face. She's like, she about to kill the messenger because Paul said this and Paul said that. All of this stuff.
Listen, they heavy. Do you hear the slurring of the words? They heavy. They heavy in there, okay?
Mm-mm. I do, Chindy. I do think that she says a lot about a lot of other women, though. I mean, I do think that, well, wait. Carmen is a strategist. Carmen is better at playing this game. Absolutely. But Carmen talks, Carmen will talk about you. Carmen is not afraid to say what she thinks when she's thinking it.
I wanted some too, girl, but you got to get them redone like every 10 years, just like implants. Where I'm like, no, I don't want to have to keep going in for that. But I was thinking about it. They got the pop on veneers on Instagram.
Yeah,
They keep
you
popping up
can.
on my timeline. I want to try them out and see what happens. But
Um, I don't like the fact that she talks about other women or just about, she didn't have to say that about Sabrina. You sitting there with half naked with the man in the jacuzzi. You don't have to talk about another woman like that. She just, these are things that you don't have to do. But as Misha and I were
let's get
saying,
into that
but as Misha and I
because
were saying, maybe this is just her. Maybe that she just can't turn it off. You understand what I'm saying? Because
yeah, it's a part of
instinct.
her job. It's a part of her personality that she has to bring out in work. So I
Hmm.
get how maybe it's hard to turn off.
Yeah.
But so let's get into the whole Carmen asking about other women every time she's on a date. Paul says she's being
Yeah.
nosy and messy. Carmen says, well, we're just talking. So, from what I got from Carmen, she's trying to say, like, there's like, she wants to like build an open line of communication. Like, she like wants him or other connections to feel comfortable talking to her, to come to her with information. That's what she's saying. But what do you think, Chris? I see your face over there.
I think that this is the to her, that's healthy communication. Talking about that's like talking about your day. To her, talking about other women or talking about other people, like, and we think of it as the gossiping or spilling the tea. Paul thinks of it as like, don't worry about what's going on with other dates or other relationships, just worry about you and I. That's in her brain, that is me seeing how you're doing. So to her, she doesn't understand that I'm just, that's none of my concern, because to her, she's like, that is my concern. And I actually hear what Paul's saying, because why would I have a conversation about, if I'm with my man and I'm talking about, oh well, you know, like that's like bringing up an ex. Like, why would you do that? So you can belittle the ex? You know what I'm saying? So I actually hear what Paul's saying, but to her, that's like talking about your day to her. I just think she doesn't look at it like that. And she thinks it's regular conversation. She thinks that she has done this for so long that that's regular conversation to her. And I don't think it's right, but I don't think in her brain, or the way that, I don't want to say in her brain, in the way that she's lived her life and the way that she's had conversations, that's what she does. That's how she works. I don't think it's right, but that's what it is. I don't think that she needs to belittle other women and other people to do it. If he were to just say,
I
oh well,
agree. That's my issue, because you're not just saying how was your date,
mm-mm.
what happened. You're saying, well, she's a girl, I'm a woman, and
Right.
like you're doing all those little digs. So at some point, it turns messy. It does turn
It
catty.
absolutely
So
is
I
messy.
understand
And
that.
then this for as soon as she did this here in this scene, I was like, "Ooh, she is messy." Like, why would you do that?
Mhm.
But at the same time, Paul is like, that's not how I consider having a conversation. That's not, if he says, "Well, how was your date with Takia?" or "How was your date with Joy?" I don't want to talk about my date with Joy. I want to talk about, like, let me get to know you. I absolutely hear what Paul is saying, but in that instance, she did not have to like poke jabs at the Kia. So then you get mad that the Kia punches you back, because the Kia
Right.
doesn't play in that same sandbox that you do. So she gonna say something about fake versus real. Like, she doesn't play it. So some people, because they don't play in that sandbox the way that you do, they just go straight for the insults. It's like a roaster, just like somebody that's like likes to roast and knows how to do it, but knows how to not hit on the kids and your wife. But the kid doesn't know how to do that. She's like, I'm just gonna go straight for the jugular. I
Interesting.
can't. I just think I said, girl, you don't know how to turn this off. And to me, that's the insult. Like somebody, oh well, if I was constantly asking about an ex, and then he said, oh well, my ex was like this, my ex was like that. Oh well, I'm not like that. I'm this type of woman. I'm that type of woman. You don't have to do that. Mm-mm. She's a lot. She's just a
Yeah.
lot. It's just a lot. Go ahead, let's go.
Y'all, we are almost at the hour mark, so make sure you are hitting that like button. Double check and make sure you are subscribed just in case YouTube might have unsubscribed you. But thank y'all for tuning in. We really, really thank y'all for joining us today. Let's get into Sabrina. There's so many aspects because there was so much back and forth. I want to talk about first. Donovan says Sabrina snapped at him. She snapped him up. And she told him, you can go home too. You can be next to go home. And I felt like it was very convenient to say it was just a joke. I was joking. We were going back and forth. We were bantering. That's not what it was. And I'm like, come on now, Sabrina. Like how convenient when it's time to take accountability, you want to put it on the joke side. But I agree with Donovan in a sense that there's a side of Sabrina that we're not seeing. She knows how to pull it together for the cameras, but I do feel like there is a side of her that we're not seeing.
I agree. I think that he said, well, Sabrina like pulled out the viper. She did. She said something, and she's like, I did not say that. He asked me, who do you think is next to go home, and I said it could be you, even if you didn't mean it. Angrily, you knew what you were doing. Come on. You didn't have to say, well, you could have just said, I'm not sure. I don't know. But the fact that you're like, oh, it could be you, come on. Come on, Sabrina. And you ain't fooling nobody. I think that you did say that. I think that even if you said it could be you or you could be next or whatever, still, why would you say that to Donovan, knowing that you and Donovan have had a couple of dates and you're interested in him? Why did you have to do that? So
They
I see some Sabrina,
She said
honestly,
that to Devon. What is what did I say? Devon
Donovan.
Donovan. She said that to Devon. What is the man's name? Donovan. She said that to Donovan, but they were not on good terms. They
He
were
she
not
said
on
that we were
joking
bantering
terms.
back and forth. We were bantering back and forth.
But they
Honestly,
weren't
y'all,
on joking terms. Like they both said there was tension there. They don't know where they stand with each other. So that should be clear enough for you to know that's not someone you need to joke with right now. You need to clear up
honestly,
the air before you try to throw in jokes and stuff. So yeah.
honestly, she gave me, and I'm telling y'all, I was like, ooh, this is Kyra vibes. Like I've been saying this for how many weeks. She has been trying and I just thought she's giving me Kyra vibes that she's like, oh, okay, well, this is how I move now. So
Shut up is creative.
she's giving me the
What is the man's name? Somebody write
Donovan.
it
See, I don't feel so bad. Y'all can't tease me no more.
down.
So Sabrina is only interested in Donovan as long as she was waiting for Demetrius to show her some attention. And we didn't see. That's what I wanted to go over. Demetrius and Sabrina in that hot tub. I was like, this is just like, now he's trying to pull out all the punches. I said, this just looks awkward. And she wants him to bend over backwards for him, Demetrius. And I was like, you ain't fooling me in this hot tub with Demetrius.
But
I
did
mean,
you also peep? Because we remember last episode when Donovan was staring at her and Demetrius on that couch.
I
And
did.
then he sat in front of Uncle Tommy and said, well, she should have been more aware of me being around and how she's giving affection to other men. And why did she do that in front of me? And I was like,
Wait, so Donovan said that, or I thought Dimitri.
Donovan said that during this
Okay,
whole back and forth when all the tea was being spilled at
okay,
the
that's right. Okay,
brunch.
okay. So
So I
he
thought
was
that was interesting as well. So maybe he was bothered by seeing her connect with Demetrius, but it did seem like Demetrius and Donovan were a little upset because they were being called out. But I agree with Donovan. I thought we were past this. Cause if you recall, every time she has a sit down with Donovan, she's asking him verbatim the same questions.
same
And
question.
he's answering it. So I understand when Donovan said, I thought we were past this. I thought we had already moved forward. So it's like, why are you still holding on to that? But okay.
Honestly, and she's still holding on to something that the friend said weeks ago. Like she's holding like, uh, um, oh my gosh, I was about to say something like, and I was about to say she's giving me the man in the relationship, and I shouldn't say that, but I was, and I because yeah, I was like, why are you just holding on to stuff that doesn't need to be held on to? I agree with him. Listen, I thought we were past this. I thought like if you wanted, if you have a problem with me, talk to me about it. Ask me about it. Don't bring it up here. When we're bringing all the tea, I just thought it was, and honestly, the fact that she got a problem with both of them, she got an issue with both of them. So she's like, I just don't know. I don't know. It's my, that's what I'm saying. The Cairo vibes. It's my decision to make. It's, it's my option to choose. I got all these choices. Okay. Okay. Choices. You're going to be choiced out next week. Never mind. Go ahead.
Okay. So we ended up here. I said, no, you didn't have Uncle Nephew Tommy sitting out on a pier with his Starbucks and you just didn't show up. And my mind started wondering because I always think about production and all that. I'm like, did they set this up? Did they really call Tina? Did Tina know she was supposed to be there? But when he was there with that Starbucks, first of all, when does he ever bring Starbucks to a meeting? I feel like he knew she wasn't going to come. But I don't know. It was funny. I feel like this will be a meme at some point. But what was your thoughts on this scene?
I thought this was a weird scene. I also believe that for him to wait over an hour, I thought was strange. I didn't mind him bringing a Starbucks. I thought it was probably a morning meeting. So like he's like, okay, I'll stop by and get
That
my Starbucks
part.
ahead of time. Tommy too old to be getting stood up. Right. I think that because he's like, listen, I got other things to do. I could be home in my bed. I didn't think of anything about the Starbucks, but I did think him waiting there for over an hour. I said he went to the trailer. He, went and made a couple of phone calls, and then they're like, do he had a couple business meetings. I don't know about him waiting for over an hour. But him having the Starbucks and sitting there, that didn't really I said this was probably a 10-minute scene and not an hour over an hour scene. But but him sitting there with the Starbucks did not bother me. Um, yeah, I believe she probably did stand up production for a certain amount of time, and they calculated it probably was an hour for production
He
time.
looked like somebody's dad who like went to the wrong school.
Because
Like
he got pissed.
he told me to come here at
Because to
4:45.
me,
Where
right,
is little Dante?
right. To me, I was like, okay, this is because to me that is more than it reminded me when Chris almost stood up Pastor Cal because I was like, y'all, I got other things to do, and I'm sitting
Uh-oh.
here. I'm
J-Dub started in trouble. He said Tina is a ghoster. I don't believe she's a ghoster
you don't believe
because
she's
that situation with the ex and him cheating on her, dogging her out, and then tomorrow, what did I do? I don't know what happened. She just so mad at me. I'm like,
no. I wasn't taking that.
so I'm not gonna say she's a ghoster
I
based
don't
off
think
of that one experience.
no, I don't think she's a ghoster from that experience because she was what in her 20s. She was young. I think from this the Tommy thing. I think that she's just been had it with production, and she's her mentally she's not in it no more. The little retreat thing. That's why I think that she's just like, I'm not going to take the time to do this. This is production time though. This is money. This is money going down the tube. So yeah, you just don't do that. So that's it.
Okay, y'all. Well, let's get
I think
into
she goes to
Put
the
a
whole
Ring
retreat.
on It.
Oh Lord.
We got Put a Ring on It, season 3, episode 3. Listen, I'm so annoyed with Kenneth's get up on these dates. Like, why does he always look like he's doing like a DeVry infomercial, or like he's going to meet his parole officer? Like, he got community service. Like, he got to go read to the kids, and like, why does he always look like this on his date?
Honestly, it's the DeVry commercial for me. That's what I think he just said. I'm getting computer program. I'll get a
I was just
certificate in
sitting on the
6 months.
couch. Time
But
was just passing me by.
but
I didn't know what to
but
do.
before
I
this
said, let
scene,
me call this number.
y'all, but before this, the getting ready scene with the red do rag and then tucking the shirt into the pants. I said, how old is he? He looks like he's 18. Like, is he? I was like, is he going to the baccalaureate? I just felt like this was. I said, whoa, um, shorty. Now I'm looking at you sideways. Like, don't you see this little boy? I just felt like he
Right.
was just tiny. This I was like, he is so. Said, oh, what a sweet little boy. That's what I just started thinking. But do you have do you have the picture of short when she came to the door?
No, I don't.
Okay. So she comes in and Shorty realizes that's her intern from a couple years ago.
Right.
And the look on Kenneth's face was he was like, oh man, but that, she pretty and all, but yo, yeah, they know each other. Like he just felt so out of sorts about that. To me, she pulled it together real quick because she rented that Viper, or she rented that car that you can rent for like $60 here in Atlanta. And she was like, have you ever seen a woman drive a car like this and stuff? And so he was like, oh man, I've always wanted to go. And like a little boy, a college student at Christmas getting his new Xbox. Okay. So
Yeah, I was a little weirded out by her behavior. It was like, I don't think she came on the show specific. Like, I don't think she knew Shorty and Kenneth were on the show. But I felt like when she found out that this was Shorty's man, it's like she upped it a notch, I felt. So I was just like, are you like, is there some type of spite there? Because I feel like she was kind of laying it on thick with him. And I feel like that's because she knows who he's with. And I was just like, not yup in my white tee.
in my white tee. In my white tee. Lean with it, rock with it, lean with it, rock with it. Honestly, I didn't get that. I remember you saying that on your show, and I didn't get that. I just didn't.
That's
I
what
thought
I
that
feel like she was. I don't know. I don't
she was
know.
already had that plan ahead of time. She was like,
The
Love
car
Matthews
does make it
posted.
seem like she already had that planned.
Yeah, the car, and she had already drove up in that car before she knew who Shorty was. To me, it probably threw her off for maybe good 5 minutes, and then she was like, "I'm gonna go with my plan." I just think that was her plan. I didn't get. I didn't get that she now that I see who Shorty is, or now that I know her, I'm definitely going to lay it on thick. I didn't get that, but you never know because. We'll go on to are we going to the date? So during the date, I liked her questions though. I do think that
What
she
were
was
her
flirting.
questions?
I liked her questions because she was flirting. What did she ask him? So she asked him, what did you do? What do you do? But I feel like she asked him a question before that.
That's how I felt.
This question, the thing though, I'm like, you're an entrepreneur and you have a food blog, Skinny Fat Kid, And all of this, I was like, I'm not feeling that. I that whole thing. But I just felt like she kind of was asking him questions because she wanted to get to know him.
She
What did TP
Crystal.
say? It's like
Crystal.
she wanted to take her old mentor's net.
Crystal.
But y'all, she already had drove up in
Crystal.
that Viper. She had
She
already
did not
drove up
want to
in
get
that
to know
Viper.
that man. She did not want to get to know that man. I think she
She
wanted
already
to
knew that
puff
she
his
knew
head
what
up
questions.
just enough to get him on another date with her.
No,
Because what, like, here's
she
my
was
thing.
already before she knew who Shorty was. Would she
Here's
care?
here's my thing.
She could have came up in a
When she was trying
Honda.
to be Miss Positive Betty, oh, you have a food blog? That's so cool. You
That was
doing it. You making moves. Blah, blah. I said, girl, how long is that going to last? Because my whole
no,
thing
it's
is
not. Because I was
don't
like,
start
food
nothing you
blog.
can't keep up with. So I think she knew Shorty don't give a damn about this food blog, this little
No,
construction stuff he doing. So let me make him think that I'm interested or that I'm gonna be that helpmate, that encourager. So to keep
I think
him
it's more of a
around so I
plan
can get
play.
some more dates, be on TV longer. That's what I was getting. I don't think she really cares
To be
about
on TV, but not because it was Shorty. She could. I think that that was already her plan before Shorty. Before, and then she saw who Shorty, that she used to know Shorty. So I was like, why would she care? She was already going to do how she was already going to play that game. All of these women, that is their plan to flirt with this man. I just didn't see that. Yeah, I just didn't see that. Oh well, oh, now that I know who it is, now I'm going to make some more moves. Now I'm going to flirt some more. I don't know. She'd already moved. She could have done that in a Honda. She could have done that
she
whatever
was trying
car.
too hard. I don't care about Shorty and all that. She was trying too hard.
So okay, she was trying, but you did, but so I don't think it was because of Shorty. I think that she was trying.
She was acting
I
like
do
she
think that
wanted to
she was
take her
trying too
mentor's man.
hard
She was
because
acting like that too.
I think she was
She was
trying
acting
too
like
hard.
that
I think she was trying hard, but I don't think it was because of Shorty. I think that that food blog, a skinny fat kid. I was like, okay, come on now. And then he's just, and yeah, that's what I think. I don't think it was because of Shorty though.
is she this Kai's season? I think we're gonna see Kai on the next episode when the old girl picked up the plate. It was ready to go.
Right, but I
You
did
know
think a
what?
little bit about the Kai, a little bit, but go ahead. Yeah,
Well, but when I saw the previews when they had the date with Alonzo, and no, not that one. The last episode when the other girl with the had her boobs out and the tied up shirt.
that's what I was saying. I
When
said this girl is giving me Kai.
Shay walked to the car and she's tapping on the window, take your armrest. When she opened the door, I said, "Oh no! If this was Love and Hip Hop, they would have been fighting by now." So I feel like that was coming. I feel like because Shay takes it too far, she does. These are strangers. These women are not your friends, your man. They don't have that type of relationship with you. So when you start testing the limits, they're going to swing. So when I saw the previews for next episode, I'm not even surprised. Shay's doing too much for people she don't know. You don't know these women. You can't just be getting in women's faces and saying whatever you feel like because it's getting real Love and Hip Hop next episode. But
Yeah, I definitely, and I said that last week. I said that the girl that was going out with Rick Ross last week, I thought that she was giving me a little bit of Kai, but we're gonna see more of that next week. So I thought that she was giving me more Kai last week, but that's coming up. Yeah, I agree, Celery. She was gonna do that with that guy no matter what. No matter what. That was gonna be what she was doing. If you are still in the radio biz, you're not going to try to upset your former boss, but then again, she had her plan. Mm.
can you hear all this background noise? Like
Now that you're
somebody's
asking me
playing.
about it, yeah, I hear it, but
Okay.
it's not like
Let me close the window. Well,
um
let's
I just think Kenneth reminds me of my 9-year-old nephew. All right, well
let me
giddy up,
close this
little
window,
doggy.
y'all. Hold on.
Giddy up, little doggy. Yes, Celery. No matter who the guy was, she had her plan. I just think she had her plan. Sweet Ro- Um, this okay, so this is Milan. This is Milan and Otis. She was so funny. He said, "Well, let me tell me about your name," and she's like, "My mother gave me because my mother loved being in Milan, right?" Um, I do think that Shay probably wants a spinoff, but she said, you look like an Otis." He said,
I
"Oh,
was dying. Listen, that is not a
well,
compliment.
it's not,"
That
but
is not a compliment.
she knew she
I
had to
said,
save
what?
that. She knew
She
she had
said,
to.
you look like an Otis because you just this big, black,
She had to
strong
throw a
man.
save. She
I
had to
said, look
save.
like a
I said,
Otis.
Otis is the oldest black name. And he said, my dad's name is Otis. I said, he had to. I said, of course it is. Of
How old is the
course your
daddy?
dad's
The
name is
daddy got to
Otis.
be 90 something. That,
Of
that
course it
daddy.
is. Of course your
Yeah,
dad's
I was like, that is not a compliment. First of all, I was like, if my name was Bertha, and somebody say, "Oh, you look like a Bertha," I would fight. I would fight somebody.
if my name was Esther, I would definitely have shortened it. My name would be Tara. Like I
Oh my
look,
god,
look, I would definitely I was
you
like,
look like an
Esther?
Otis
So
child.
she had to save it. She was like, "Oh, let me save this. Let me let him know this is a compliment because
You
this
look
is not."
like a Otis.
She said, "No, you look like a strong black man." Okay, okay.
Otis,
Ruffin,
Rufus,
the word
Bertha,
Bertha,
exactly.
Bernice, Esther. Like, oh gosh. So yeah, you look like an. He's got to be a third. He's got to be Otis the third. He's got to be. So Milan's Beauty let me
I would
know
have
that
created a
God.
nickname by now. I would have came on here like my name is Mike. I would not be claiming
Yeah,
Otis.
I was like, gosh, I wonder what his middle name is that he's going by Otis. She is
Oh,
single-handedly the most beautiful woman in the show's history. Who? Milan? I don't. Okay. Yeah, she's pretty.
the drawstring ponytail threw me off at first,
Yeah, she's
but
pretty.
she has a very pretty face.
Yeah, she does. She's pretty. I don't know about single-handedly, but she's pretty. Okay. So he asked, oh no, I'm sorry. She asked, well, I'm a DJ. I'm going to be DJing tonight. And he said, like, he's like, I'm so
No,
tempted.
Herbert, that's my grandpa's name.
Hubert is so he said, I'm so tempted. I really want, she's real creative and she's this, she's that. I'm tempted, but I don't want to do that. And I shouldn't do that. So I'm not
Did
gonna
he go
go.
to the DJ session though? Do you think
I
he went?
don't put it past him. I believe he probably did. I think that he might have gone. And it's not even, I just think it is a double standard. Absolutely. The way he talked to her, queer women are not submissive. The way he talked, that's a good point though, J Dubs. The way he talked to her, and said, "Well, no, it was okay." I do think it was a double standard, but he may have gone, he may not have gone. I don't put it past him. I think that even if he said, "Oh, I'm just gonna go and stay an hour," and he doesn't matter, you still went. You still went. I think he may have gone.
I think he went because what was the reason? Either he went or he just really really likes her because why were you being so coy about it? It's like he didn't want Charlana to pick up on any interest that he had for her. So I think that's why he kept it like real small talk with her cuz he doesn't want Charlana to put two and two together.
I actually don't think it's even that. I don't even think it's that big of a that convoluted. I just think that he doesn't. I don't care
It's
what
a double standard,
rules,
you
double
think.
standard. I don't think. I think whatever rules I put on you does not mean the same for me. I want to know everything because I don't trust you. I don't want like he wants to control the situation. So the only way he can control the situation, I don't care what I told you. I want to know what you're doing, but I don't have to tell you
He
what
wants to remain
he
superior.
wants
Is
to
that what you're
in
saying?
control. I don't
Okay.
think it has anything to do with him going or not and having to hide anything. He's just
Okay.
yeah. This man, he's just wants to rule over. And then I think he was shocked when Charlana was really trying to find out, and she got a little bit of heart behind it. She got a little bit passionate. It kind of made him mad. He got kind of hurt his feelings at the end of the show. He was like, "Let's
Mhm.
toast." No, I don't want to toast. He got pissed. I got something to say later. Go ahead. Let's go.
This is what I want to point out. The girl got a confessional.
So
This means either something happened or she's getting more dates. But I noticed this that she does have a confessional. So
So I thought about this. Okay, two things. One, I definitely think she's gonna have more dates. So we'll find out about that next week. I agree with you on that point. But then I started to go back. I think the girl from New York had a confessional too, though. Oh, girl with the nails. I feel like she had a confessional too.
no, she was in the street in front of the house. Talking
Okay.
about she like men that bald head,
Dark
sexy with
skin.
a back. She was in the middle of the street. She didn't
Okay,
have no
I'm gonna have to check on
confessional.
that one because I thought that she had a confessional too. But
No,
I
she
definitely
didn't.
agree with you that he's very intrigued by Milan and he wants another date with her. Like I definitely think he's going to be having another date with
But
her.
she wasn't showing no skin. So, and he didn't make no comments about that. So maybe he does just really like her. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. 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 She was in the street, y'all. She was in the
She
street.
was in the
No,
street.
she was in. I like dark skin, big man, like
Bald head.
bald head. Oh,
Lord.
Lord.
So this all made sense. So he is a manager of Rick Ross, which makes sense why he always be trying to have his titties
Mm-hmm.
out on the couch. And I was like, it's adding up. It makes sense. My thing is when you pick a partner, you have to be equally yoked. Your lives, your purpose, it doesn't need to be the same, but it needs to be aligned in a sense. So this man is in an environment. He's in and out of the studio, the clubs. He's around lots of women. That environment, they disrespect women, disregard women. They're cheating, drinking, doing drugs, but you want him to be faithful and come back home and put people in their place. So I'm like, this is where I gotta say again, you gotta pick a side, sis. Pick a side.
Misha, I'm just a really sweet guy. Like women can't resist me. I'm a nice guy. Like what does she expect?
I
What
don't even know that woman. I can't stop women
I
from
can't,
talking to
I can't,
you.
you know, I
You
just
know,
I
you know
guess
every bit of that woman.
I
Please
guess
stop.
I guess I guess I can just be not as nice and I don't have to be as nice.
J-Dub in that townhouse.
Yes,
I'm
he
not
can't
gonna
be Rick
blame
Ross
her.
and he lives in the town. Yes, he can.
I think he's one
I
of Rick
just,
Ross's managers. Is that
I
what he
just
said? Or he used to be something, I don't know. But
I guess I don't
mm.
have to be so nice. I guess I just shouldn't be so nice.
But he
I
could
just
very well be Rick Ross's manager. He's in a townhouse because he's buying all these brands and shades and button up shirts that don't fit. So,
girl, be happy in your red bottoms. Like you just so
right.
I just it's so frustrating because it is obvious that this man does not see you in long term. He's got a 20-year-old daughter. He's got three kids. The oldest is 20, he's 45, and he's not seeing you where you want him to see you. He's not Y'all are not meeting in the same place. Go ahead. What does stay tuned review say?
He said, I'm thinking for Shay to deal with infidelity and a guy with mama issues. He must be bringing home the money. If he was broke, she wouldn't give him the time of day.
And your red bottoms and your bins. See, to me, doesn't even matter. Even he said, "Well, I guess I don't have to be so nice, and I guess I can be this type of person." She's like, "It doesn't matter. He's gonna find a way to be nice. He's gonna find a way. I don't have to be so friendly." That's what he said. Even he's gonna find a way to maneuver it and be friendly, and I can just be, treat the women as work friends, and that's it. It doesn't matter. She said he's going to find a way to maneuver it. And that means, girl, you don't trust him. He has broken
Mm-hmm.
your trust an umpteenth amount of times, and he's still going to break your trust. You have let him get away with it for way too long, and that's it. Every pic on his IG. What did most Monique just say?
Every picture on his IG is with Rick Ross. The townhouse is just a temporary rental for filming. That makes sense.
Yeah, you know what? Now I think about it, that does make sense. That's why Shay is still around. I do think that that makes sense, and you'll notice for them, for this couple, and for Shorty and Kenneth, it looks like an Airbnb. The only couple that actually has stuff on the walls, that has pictures and stuff on the walls, is Charlana and and the abusive guy. What's his name? Just get Charlana.
Otis. Ain't
Otis.
nobody come to see
And
you,
good to you,
Otis.
Otis. Yeah, and Otis. So and that was the first episode. I don't This is one episode I don't remember seeing stuff on the walls, but I definitely noticed it the first episode with the first dates. So to me, this is, you can tell that this is a townhouse for filming or something like that. But girl, you don't trust him. You don't trust him. It's so Otis is who we're talking about. So they're the ones that
Which abusive guy? There's so many of them. You can't
honestly,
keep
yeah.
up.
Yeah, so that's it. Go ahead.
Let's see. So then we have Charlana's date with Brent or Brett, whatever the
Brent.
man's name
I thought it was
was.
Brent, Brent. I liked him. I thought that his suit jacket, I think that I liked him. I liked his conversation. And you could tell, to me, I got the feeling that Charlana was not used to going out with guys like this. And
You look at her body language,
she
like
sat up. She was like,
she looked
"Oh,
like a fish out of water. Like, oh, what?
this is
Oh, okay.
interesting." Like, "Oh, well, he's actually somebody that I can have a conversation with." And she started asking him about the word submissive, and they were just having. I just felt like I was like, I like him, but I don't know. It almost seemed to me like Charlana felt like a fish out of water, and it was very
Yeah.
refreshing compared to the domineering Otis. She was like, "Oh my gosh, this is somebody I can actually have a conversation with. He's educated. He's a politician. Like, he's all of the things that I'm looking for in a longevity."
I don't think she's necessarily
I
looking
don't.
for what Brett had to bring, but I think it was like it gave her insight
It
that
opened up
there's
her.
kind of like with Shorty in
Mhm.
Hollywood. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think Shorty has a romantic connection with Hollywood, but he like opens her mind and makes
Yes.
her think differently. So I think that's
Because
what she felt with Brett.
and I don't think that Otis has ever had a conversation with her about, like, in politics or anything else. It's just been like, no, I might want a submissive woman, and that's it. No, they actually had a conversation, and I was like, I feel like this guy would, like, have the conversation about relationships or family and that type of stuff. That Otis doesn't actually have a conversation with her about it and want to hear her point of view. So I do felt like this was really refreshing for her, and she really liked it. Yeah, she was sitting at attention. She almost felt like he was kind of out of her league, and I felt kind of bad for her that she
Right.
thought that. Go ahead.
I liked him because he's a man with a plan. Like, he
Absolutely.
was sitting there, like, just telling her what he does and what he wants to do, what he is going to do. And I was like, that's a man with a plan. That's a man that you can submit to because you know
Hmm.
the plan, you know the intention. But with Mr. Otis, and I just want you to obey me, do what I say, it's like, where are we going with this? So I did like him. Will she go on another date with him? I have a feeling that she won't. I think she likes what Otis comes with. Otis is a fine man. Otis is good looking.
But this
I
guy's
think
good
she
looking.
okay. He's I would date him. I would date him. But I see a difference between like what Otis said when he walked through the door. He's like, "Oh, this guy's more sophisticated." I think that's more what I'm getting at. He's not swagged out like younger guys or whatnot. Like I would date Brent, whatever his man's name is. But I
I do
think
think
for
this guy's good
Charlana,
looking.
can she get past that? And I think that's the issue is women say they want a good man. They want this great dude, but like what did Russell Wilson, is that Sierra's husband?
Hmm.
When he was in the news because a dude said the only reason Sierra's with him is because he got money, he's really a square. And so I think some women can't see past the squareness and see him for what he is and what he brings to the table. So that's my apprehension with Charlana is can she see past that and see that he is a good, well-rounded dude that you could have a family with and have
I
longevity with.
and see, I think he's good looking, and I actually am seeing past the because I could see what you're saying about Otis is more fine, like he looks like he is fine, whereas this guy's good looking and looking at those bulges in his arms in the shirt, like if he weren't wearing a long sleeve button down, he got some muscles. But can she see past that? I hear what you're saying, but
Thank you, Monique.
I'm still too immature to see past the squareness. I won't even lie. I don't. I see past the squareness. I'm sorry. I think he's a good looking guy, and I see more than that. Otis is fine, but I also know don't those fine men they can rule over you, and just like we're seeing here with Otis. Yeah. Mm-mm. I love square men. They melt my heart. Exactly. They're smart and listen. Don't look past a square man. Listen.
Okay, so let's get into Hollywood and Shorty. I'm okay. I'm gonna just start here because I'm starting to feel like what is her name? Shorty is just afraid of being alone at this point because obviously they had a good conversation on their first date. Like, and my whole thing is when they sat down and he said, "Why did you ask me here on the second date?" And she said, "Well, uh she all looking around." I'm like, girl, I could have gave you at least three off the bat. So my whole thing is like I don't see a romantic connection between them. I think that he opens her mind, but there is a part of me that thinks is like does she have Kenneth around just because she's afraid to be alone? Is she like spending time with Hollywood just because she's afraid to be alone? Because I'm pretty sure if we can see that there's not really a romantic connection there. She knows that. So why keep bringing him around, which makes me think that there's something going on there with her. I don't know.
Okay, I'm gonna leave it here. She said a lot during this date. I agree with you. I like Hollywood. I think that um I like his analogy about the dog. You like you got to let that go. You can't just keep, trying to force somebody to do,
He seems
do
different.
yeah.
Like, was he this
You can't
like
force somebody
intellectual
to do
on the
something
first
that they
season?
don't want to do. You got to let them go. I do. His analogy was true about dogs, and except for I would never mush my dog's face into his poop. But yeah, listen, you need to if they don't get the training, if you got to let it go. But she said a lot during this date. He said, "Well, you've been together a long time," and she said, "I have tried so many times to break up with him." She said that the first time she got a new crib. Do you think that she needed to get a new crib to get away from him? Because she said I was like first I thought, oh, she was just moving to because she was moving, but then he
Mhm.
followed her to the crib, then
He
he
definitely followed
followed
her.
her
He
to
ain't
the
got nowhere else to go. He
right.
followed her.
But to me, her saying that she's tried so many times to get rid of him, that's kind of creepy. And not kind of, that is creepy. That makes me nervous. That honestly, when and he even said Shorty makes me feel like my worth is little. Like he feels like he has to measure up, or he's,
I
he's
get
only
that.
staying with him. He's only staying with her because he needs to prove he's not a little boy, or he needs to prove that he's some man, and he needs to go somewhere else and prove that. I'm sorry, but I do see your point that why do you keep staying with this man? He's done some really hurtful things. I feel like he really did mess with your money, sending messages to your business, to your company about you, and all of the messing with your financial statements. I agree with y'all. Like, why is your password that easy? Like, why was it so easy for him to get your financial information? So all of these things tells me that you needed to go a long time ago. And also it is so easy for you to tell us the viewing public, all of these things that this man has done for done to you. So she said a lot during this date. I agree with you that excuse me, that he's kind of Hollywood is just kind of opening her eyes to somebody else that she could be interested in. Also, I did like Hollywood say, let's talk about God. Let's talk about Jesus. Like,
Yeah.
I don't think that Kenneth, I don't think that they talk about the things on that level. And so the fact that she got a guy on what, a second date, to hold her hands and say, let's pray, she's like, oh, well, wait a minute. But girl, don't let that fool you like Chris did with Paige. Don't do that. But I do think that she's like, oh, I'm opening my eyes and opening my nose that
Yeah.
there could be more out there.
But there's something there, like, I get it. Like, Shorty, he's a scammer, a stalker, so many different things. I definitely sense that he's jealous of her being established.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's why when they get into their breakups, fights, he's contacting her job.
Right. He's doing
He's
the
going after her financial things because those are the things he's jealous of and he's insecure about. Those are the things that make him feel less than. Let's get on Shorty's side because she needs to hold some accountability in this. You
I agree
can't
with you.
keep looking for ways out. You got to be accountable and just step up to the plate. Because why, after he's taking financial records, why are y'all sitting in the bed together?
Yes.
Why
And
are
then
you so calm? Like, it's just like,
she wants to have
it's
a
kind of like
conversation.
Hollywood said, you keep letting the dog back in when he hasn't learned his lesson. So there's something there where it's like, why do you like keep letting this man back in?
I agree. I totally agree. Then she's like, well, now that we're home, can we talk about why you took my phone? Listen, you need to grab your purse and go. Grab your purse, grab your keys, and
Would
get
have
out the door.
no words would have been said,
Yeah,
okay?
now that we're home, now that we're in, no words, let's just go. And that's probably a car. He's driving a car that you are unfortunately probably paying for. And then he's like, well, let's talk about it later.
Listen, she paying for them polos and khakis too, child.
Girl, and that red do rag. But yeah, go ahead.
You have so many boundaries.
Wait. Oh,
I wanted to slap him for her. I was like, girl, I think, and it's like you can see she was trying to restrain herself. Like maybe
mm-hmm.
that's what she usually does. But
Yes. Yeah. And who said that he needs a back alley discussion? That's really funny, AW. He does need a back alley. Yep. Okay. Don't fall for this, ladies.
yeah, I get it. Like I've never been in that situation where I've been afraid of a man, so I don't want to come off like I'm being insensitive to that. But at the same time, like what we're being shown is her like accepting it. So maybe she does want a way out, but at the same time, that's not what it looks like. But it's rough. It's a sad situation, but it's just like
I agree, Miss B. You do have a point, and I watch too much ID channel, and I have seen this.
she looks and acts like it's normally definitely seems to.
Yeah, and I
Yeah.
and I feel, but at the same time, the sad thing is that's not Shorty's fault. Like he needs to. if she's a DJ, she's established, and he's not. He's doing a, a fat kid blog, a skinny fat kid blog, and he wants to do all of these things. Then he needs to be an entrepreneur and do all these things without her. It's like we talk about all the time. Don't do something because you're trying to prove something to somebody else. Do something. Do this because you want to do this for yourself. But go ahead.
No, I agree with AW. It's you can't just leave a cycle do. That's why I said we don't like I can't really say like speak on that because I don't know what it's like to be in that situation.
Right.
But it like from the outside looking in, it looks like what Hollywood said, you're just letting the dog back in.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
let me see what's next. So the episode ended with Otis and Charlana.
Okay, I have a question though. Why every scene are we gonna be doing this every this whole season? Why is she so hungry in front of him? And then he don't is why is does she have to ask him for permission to eat? Like she's like, I'm hungry, but I'm hungry. And he's like, well, go eat on your date. We'll go make sure your date feeds you. I'm like, why? What? Why is this? Why are we starting this with this? To me, I thought that was just silly. I was like, I don't understand this dynamic of theirs. And just like we were talking about Kenneth and Shorty, this dynamic is very off and very skewed. I'm very glad that Charlana got a little bit of gumption or whatever the word is. Like she got a little bit of fire behind her and said,
Because she
this,
had production there. She had the whole like she had an audience, and
this double standard. He
I
set
think
up.
that brought comfort to her. But I believe I believe she is because J-Dub said Shorty is in danger. I believe she is in danger too, whether she realizes it or not.
Mm-hmm. I absolutely believe she's in danger. I believe he wants to control every narrative, everything. And he was so surprised when she was not letting him get away with it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, tell me
What
about your date. Let's toast.
What do you think about Otis like sighing and rolling his eyes at Dr. Nicole?
He's another Olu. I was calling Kenneth Olu last week. He's another Olu, Olajuwon. He don't want to hear it. He doesn't want to hold accountability. He does not want to hear somebody else their not answer for him. He does not want to hear somebody else's opinion of his behavior and his character. That's the answer. He was, and the fact that she wanted to end it there, and he was like, I still, he still wanted to finish it. He's another Olajuwon. I just, and this is what she goes through. And it is true. You are trying to rule over her. What does she call it? Like I'm being chastised, like a child. Yeah, absolutely. That's what I think.
He's a jerk, but Charlana is also a bit of a whiner. If he doesn't give you all the details of his dates, then don't give him the details of yours. Play his game.
But so the women had the first date. They had a deal, or that Otis set up. Otis said, this is what that his command was for when you come back from these dates. If we're gonna have these dates, you're gonna tell me about your date, and I'm gonna tell you about mine." So she tells about her date, and
she gets starved, her flowers get thrown away.
right.
She gets told she stink, go take a shower.
The only way he can control it is for him not to say how his date was. And so it's a double standard. That's it. Yep, scolded. Thank you, Future. Scolded. Dr. Nicole was kind of on it this episode. You know, I call her Dr. Ponytail sometimes. She was kind of on it. I agree with her on this one. She had a couple of good, because she likes to have the parables. She likes to talk about the vines growing this way instead of growing up and stuff like that. But she did pretty good this episode. So yeah. Mm-hmm. That's all we got. Yes, Elise.
Yep, that's all we got. Thank y'all for tuning in. Whew, it's been, y'all been riding with us through this Ready to Love and Put a Ring on It mess, but we appreciate y'all for tuning in today.
Yes. Thank y'all so much. Stay tuned. Please subscribe. Please like, share, and subscribe. But definitely like the video and subscribe to both of our channels. And Misha and I got more stuff coming. So just put those notifications on because we're gonna have a lot coming for you. That's it. Thank you guys. Oh, that's right. Jay Doves loves Miss Dr. Ponytail, Dr. Nicole. She has stopped the. Thank you, J Dub. She stopped the riddles this season. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sally. All right. We'll see you next time.